Good morning. Happy Wednesday. My name is Beverly Hosford. This is Erin Nitschke right next to me. We are here with the National Federation of Professional Trainers, a personal training certification and continuing education company. And we are going to chat with you today about business cards for fitness professionals. We had a discussion going this morning on Facebook about our business cards going out of style, or are they extinct? And the overall response from all industries was no, they are not going out of style anytime soon. They're still valuable. We're going to tell you why they're still valuable. We're going to talk about what you might want to have on your business card and how to make it stand out, as well as how to use this really valuable tool in your business. So I'm going to go ahead and tweet the show out and put it on Facebook real quick. If you know anyone that's creating a business card right now, or you think might enjoy this conversation, please invite them. Just share the show on Facebook and have them come along. And we'll get started here in a minute. How are you, my beautiful friend?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. And just, as you know, hanging in there. My dog is heading over to another state today to get some evaluations on her eyes. And so it's been a little crazy around here, but I'm happy that we're doing the show, and happy that our amazing supervisor said we could cancel the show in lieu of the dog situation. But I'm excited that I love my job so much that I want to do the show anyway. So
yes,
that's always
Angie.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. And I got to give a shout out to Myra for taking care of little Isaac today. So
yes, definitely.
Well, let's dive into business cards. So Erin, why don't you start us off with like what needs to be on a business card these days? Because I don't know if faxes are still part of it or not.
It's amazing faxes still exist. But as far as what needs to be on a business card, I think so much of that is dependent upon what your business is and what your message is. So the most obvious things are your name. I advocate for putting credentials on there. At least when I get a business card that's just got a person's name and a title of a business, I wonder, okay, so what background do you have that makes you the authority to be espousing such things? Because we know in the fitness industry, there's really no legislation that says you have to be educated to be able to hang your shingle and say, hey, I'm a personal trainer. That's unfortunate. So we get a lot of people out there that really are underqualified or not qualified at all to be doing what they're doing. So that's one thing I advocate for, is obviously your name, your credentials. I don't think you need to list every single one. I mean, there are some individuals that have accumulated a mountain of credentials and certifications. What are the most salient? What are the most valuable or the highest degree that you have that bring value to the organization or to the industry itself? Any social media links, I think, are valuable, because it seems more often than not, the way that the world is going is technology. It's connected us in so many unique ways and instant ways. And I think so many people want to connect that way because it is so convenient and it's so easy. You can do it from your laptop and from your phone, and pretty much anywhere you are, you're always connected. So any valuable social media links, and put the ones that you use the most. So if you've got kind of a defunct Google Plus account that you don't, Google Plus, still a mystery to me. But if you have something like that, you don't list that one. List the ones that are the ones that you're most active on, whether that's Twitter or LinkedIn or something like that. Make sure that you have those. And I think this is just a personal opinion of mine. I love a picture of a smiling face or a great logo design, something that draws me in, that's more than just text on a little tiny card. So I think you can be very unique. I mean, mine, I've got just a picture of myself, just a headshot. And I've seen others with really great designs or really great logos, and they don't have to be real intricate or crazy or a lot of colors, just something really simple and clean and elegant. And then you can utilize the back of the card. If you are a personal trainer, you can certainly list, I've seen ones that have punch cards on the back. You get like 5 sessions and then you get a 6th one free, or free group fitness class or something like that. I've seen ones with appointments. So your next appointment with Trainer Joe is, whatever you want to say. So I think there's a number of things that you can add, but I do think that your name, some kind of image, your social media links, and your credentials are the top most valuable things you can put on that card.
Yeah, that's a good point about the social media links. Because when I think back to when I actually think about the cards I have now, I don't think I have social media links on them, because when I created them, I ordered like 1,000 of them, and it was so many years ago. And I'm just realizing that, when I think I have like 20 left, but it's probably time to reorder them and put those social media links, because that is where people go now. They are probably less likely to email you and more likely to friend you and just add you to their network. I think that's an excellent point. And I love how you say like that's the basics, because the next thing that we want to chat about today is how do you make your card stand out? How do you make it different from others? When I teach business classes for personal trainers or massage therapists or anybody, I usually try to find a bulletin board nearby in town and walk everyone over to it to go and see all the business cards that are on the bulletin board. And when we go over, I always tell people, like, take a look and see what stands out, because that's where your card may be hanging out at some point amongst all these other cards. And of course, the more colorful ones stand out. So like, I don't want to say that you need to have a lot of colors or you need to have a lot of pizzazz. I feel like if you're a real simple, straightforward type of person, a simple, straightforward card will serve you well. That's just one way you can think about it. You can go and look at a bulletin board and see like what stands out to you. And then if you want to try and stand out on a bulletin board, that would be an approach to take. But otherwise, I think it's really important always to be authentic and to create your card so that it matches your personality. Like, if you're not comfortable having your photo on a card because you don't like the way you look in photos, then don't put your photo on the card. But if you're someone that really likes to put your photo out there, or you like photos on other cards, then stick it on there. And I really liked what you said about the logo and the design. I feel like a business card is a very small representation of your larger business, your larger mission. And so this is where doing the homework before you even start a business is really important. Like working with a marketing specialist or someone to really dig into who are you, what makes you who you are as a trainer, and to portray that on your card. Because these days I feel like business cards, and they always have been, they're kind of like trading cards. You meet someone and you're like, hey, do you have a card? Hey, I have a card, and you trade them and you just trade them off. So, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So I think it's just important to make your card stand out, but also in a way that's unique to you. Like you said, Erin, you had a lot of good ideas about, you could put buy 5, get 1 free on the back, or you could put 1 free session on the back. And that also all fits into your bigger mission or your bigger philosophy as a fitness professional or coach. And so just really, before you make a business card, just really thinking about it all mindfully, because they do come in packs of like 500. So it can be a really great, it can be a really great activity to use that business card as an opportunity to dig deep into who you really are as a trainer or as a coach or a fitness instructor.
Yeah. And I think when you're, in the process of designing it, I think it's always a good idea to get somebody else's feedback. Maybe somebody that's not necessarily in your field, but maybe someone that represents the clientele you're trying to recruit, and ask them, what is my card? What is this? What kind of message? Because believe it or not, there's something called visual literacy. Every image and every color scheme and everything that's put out there sends a message, right down to the type of font. And so being thoughtful with how you design it and then getting that feedback is important. The difference between Comic Sans and, a Helvetica type style font might go from I'm selling lemonade on the street corner to I have a classy fitness studio. I mean, that's kind of a joke that my husband makes because he's a graphic designer, and Comic Sans is like this font that graphic designers just dread seeing. So be thoughtful about what speaks to you, but then also what speaks to the clientele you're trying to recruit.
Yeah, that's a really good point. If you're trying to attract graphic designers to your training business, you definitely want to have...
Don't use Comic Sans and don't put everything in the center. Don't do it.
You want to have a classy card. Awesome. Well, so that's a little bit about what should be on the card. If anyone has any questions about what should or shouldn't be on the card, Billy had a great idea. He says, how about having an inspirational quote? And Angie says she likes a picture, especially if you're collecting cards. Then after the fact, they'll know who you are. They bring your card home and they can still put that face with it. And April says she always loves collecting cards at trade shows. And
that's nice. Yeah.
And so great. Thanks for those extra tips, everyone. If anyone has any other tips about what to put on a card or opinions about that, we welcome them. And we're gonna roll in from how to design your card now to how to use it. So here's why business cards are still valuable. So you want to start us off with that, Erin?
Sure. So while business cards might not be, the only way anymore, I mean, they used to be kind of the cornerstone of how we communicated our credentials and our business and the things that we do. But now we've got so much social media out there as well. But again, it's still valuable because it's a way to open a conversation. It's a way to exchange that brief information with somebody. It's a way to show you're legitimately serious about what you do. And I think there's a lot of different theories on business cards. I mean, and I think it comes down to how the professional feels comfortable using it, or maybe even the type of business that they have will dictate how that's used. What is the culture around it? At trade shows in the fitness industry, everybody's going to have a business card there. They're going to have all sorts of other print media available to be able to hand out because it's tangible. It's something that someone can take with them and see and put it in the modern day file of facts, so they're still very valuable. And you can even have a digital format that you can share easily via iPhones or, Facebook Messenger or whatever the case is.
Yeah, you could definitely have a digital version. Yeah, I feel like, I was out for a group dinner last week and I met a woman who lives in the next town over in Red Lodge, and she has a business that I'm really interested in, and I've been thinking about visiting Red Lodge. So she gave me her card, and that's a reminder to me to get in touch with her. If I would have just gotten her phone number and put it in my phone, then I would have had to also go and set a reminder. And I just feel like sometimes taking out the phone when you're having a really good conversation can kind of be like a jolt in the middle of it. Oh, hold on, wait. Okay, let me put your information in. Okay, I need to set a reminder to remember to call you. And it just kind of for me, it interrupts the flow. But we had a beautiful conversation. We were talking about a lot of things. And it was very natural at the end for me to say, hey, do you have a card? I'd really like to look at your website or get in touch with you. And then she just pulls out the card and gives it to me. And then we continue our conversation. Whereas I feel like you take out your device to put the phone number in, and then you see a text message pop up and you're like, oh, I've got this message and I've got this email. And then next thing you know, you're not even paying attention to the person anymore. So I guess I'm a little old school like that, but I feel like there's still a lot of value in these older ways of doing things, with the business card versus the technology. Because I know for me, when I pull that smartphone out, it's a bottomless pit. It's just
that's cool.
I get distracted. I forget why would I open my phone in the first place. So I like the old school business card. I like what you talk about legitimacy. I took the time to make this and I have one. And I think it's really a great tool again for trading. I feel like you should never give your business card without asking for one, because for one, absolutely, it feels kind of silly to be like, oh, here's my card, and then okay, is the other person not important? So I think it's always good to be like, here's my card. Do you have one? And then that way you can follow up with them too. It's just kind of a natural human, human exchange.
Yeah, I love that point. Someone hands me their card and doesn't ask, for any of my information, it makes me feel like they've just got a big old sign on their chest that says, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal. You're going to want to get all up in my business. And for me, I just, hey, thanks for stopping by. You take care now. If you're not going to reciprocate it, that's part of building rapport. That's part of building relationships. And that's the foundation of our business. So you're going to hand a card, please receive one. Or better yet, ask the person, do you have a card? And do you mind if I give you mine so that we can stay in touch and perhaps network and work together?
Yeah.
Simple as that. Common sense.
Yeah. Of course it has to work its way into the conversation. This woman, she gave me her card. She didn't ask me for mine. I didn't feel bad about that. I wasn't really, I feel like that was just that exchange. So you got to feel it out, just like any situation.
And you had an organic conversation with this person. Like you were getting to know them. There were steps being built into this relationship.
Yeah. So just another regular old, human communication. Just be present and tune in to what feels right. If someone asked you for your card because they want to come and see you at your training studio, it's still appropriate to say, yeah, let me give you my card. Would you mind if I got yours as well? Because I have a great article I'd like to send you, or, I'd like to follow up with you and give you a call. Or you could say, hey, that's great. I'd love to give you my card. So what do? Do you have a card with you? And just showing interest. Again, the business card exchange can be a very awkward thing in some scenarios.
Yeah, I think it can be very awkward, but I think it can also, depending on the situation and depending on the personalities or the dynamic that's involved, can be really super awkward. Like, okay, what do I do now? Or it can be a way to break the ice too, or like open a door as well. But I think your emotional intelligence and intuitiveness has to get fired up for you to know which side is which.
Definitely. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's another tool. It's another representation of who you are. And so always, as we preach, work on building communication skills and rapport. And if it feels awkward to give a card, don't give it. You do
Trust
not.
Your gut.
Yeah, you do not need to shove a card in everyone's face. If you're having a beautiful conversation and it's great, and maybe you're going to see the person again, or maybe you're not, just maybe sometimes let it go. You don't always have to shove your card in there. I remember there was a time where I kept my cards in my back pocket and I wanted to make sure I gave as many out as possible. And it's no, don't need to do that.
I think that's a really good point, because if it doesn't feel right to do that, you can always follow up with them later. You can always reach out to them just via the old fashioned way, give them a call, or, send them an email and say, I really enjoyed meeting you, and I just wanted to reach out or follow up, or, whatever words come to mind that you feel are appropriate for that situation. You don't necessarily have to walk away with their card, or they have to walk away with yours. You can still follow up with them if you feel like it's a relationship that is worth building, or you've kind of got that, that intuitive sense that this person is someone you want to remain connected with, and you might be able to help each other in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, that's what we wanted to share with you guys today. We'll just see if there's anything else here. Some back and forth here. There's an etiquette to use a phone as a Rolodex. There's some great apps that help organize business cards. So once you have them, that's a great point. You can take photos of them and organize them. I used to have a binder with all of mine in them. And I still actually have that binder, and you'll see on the Facebook post tomorrow, or on the blog post tomorrow, I took a picture of a bunch of them and put them up. So if you have a business card you want to share with us, throw up a picture in the comments. We'd love to see it. And if you have any questions about designing your business card, or if you want feedback on yours, toss it up there. We'd be happy to give you our opinions. We've got plenty of them.
Clearly.
So next week, we're going to talk about some other tools that trainers can't live without. Business cards is definitely one that I think is still important to have. As somebody pointed out on Facebook this morning, it's not about you, it's about them. If someone is expecting you to have a business card and you don't have one, it could pose a little bit of a barrier. And especially if you're marketing to generations that still really like business cards, I think it's important.
Very much so.
So next week, tools trainers can't live without. We hope you'll join us. If you liked this show today, please share it and spread the business card love.
Yes. Thank you for being with us.